I've been living in the Overland camper full-time for nearly 5 months now. It's a lifestyle that keeps material possessions to a minimum but has high returns on changing scenery and time outdoors. However, in the last few weeks, I found myself frequenting places I'd already been to. In an effort to shake it up, I found a lake on the map that was totally new to me and decided to give it a shot. Oh my God. You know how I know I have a coffee addiction? Because there is very, very little that I look forward to as much as the first cup of coffee in the morning. Oh my God. Black liquid happiness. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right. Oh man. Slept really well last night. Then again, I feel like I always sleep really well in the truck camper. Just nice to hear some more natural sounds at night rather than, like city noises, cars, or whatever. And then waking up to birds is like one of my favorite things in the world. It's been strangely cold though. I think we're having a cold snap here in Oregon. I mean, genuinely felt like it was in the mid 30s last night. And I know it was in the mid 30s when I was at higher elevation, but I'm a little bit lower now and I expected it to be warmer, but the last few days I've been up at higher elevation and I got stuck in a lightning and hail storm. I probably should have filmed that. That would have been cool content. But I'm talking like hail the size of peanut M&Ms, and no joke, within 2 seconds, it sounded like a fighter jet coming down through the trees. And within 2 seconds, the entire ground was covered in a sheet of these marbles. It was nuts. Anyway, what are we going to do today? So, the first thing I want to do is tie some flies. I have a plan for the evening. I'd really like to catch a trout and cook it for dinner tonight with you guys. Supplement some of my meat that way. And then, and my fly box looking a little sparse, so I think I'm going to tie up some ex-caddis today and fill those up, use them this evening, since I did preach on that last fly fishing video about how great caddis are and how beginners should just use caddis. I stand by that. But I got to put my money where my mouth is, right? So, yeah. And then I'd also like to get out and do some hiking, and maybe we can also practice the recurve bow today. I've been trying to make a point to practice that every day, and boy, I'm not great at it, but I'm learning. So the archery buffs out there will cringe, I'm sure, but hey, be easy with me, guys, you know. But we can learn together. So yeah, and then we'll go do some fishing and have a good dinner. So I'm gonna finish this cup of coffee and we'll get rolling. But first, breakfast. This morning I'm having 2 eggs, 2 mandarins, and a protein shake. Okay, let's tie some flies. So I use my removable table as an outdoor workbench because why tie inside when you could tie outside? I got this generic table vise from a Bass Pro Shop for really cheap. I'll try to add a link to that along with my other fly tying tools. And like I mentioned, we're going to be tying an X caddis, and today I'm using a number 12 dry fly hook. I start by putting down an even layer of black thread, which creates the foundation for the fly. Next, I size up the tail using the body of the hook. Put a few wraps around that just to secure it in place. Next, I put on some superfine dubbing to create the body of the fly, and wrap that around evenly, nearly to the eye of the hook. Then I'm going to cut off a little elk hair to make the wing, and then I use this tool to get all of the elk hair fibers even. And place that onto the hook, put a few wraps around, and we have a wing. Then knot it off using this crazy looking thing called a whip finish tool. Clip off the thread, and we're looking at a handsome new X caddis. We'll add that to the box. All right, so we got our flies. We're halfway there. It's been a long morning of sitting around, and I'm excited to go check out this lake, see if we can do some scouting, figure out where we want to fish this afternoon, and then we'll come back, shoot the recurve bow for a little bit. All right, good news. I literally just saw a fish at the top, and I'm seeing tons of bugs, lots of caddis, lots of mayfly, which are all good signs. And I found a few deeper shelf areas that I can definitely get a cast out to. So far, it's looking really promising. I think we're going to be able to get into them tonight, fingers crossed. But I'm still going to wait until this evening, let the sun go down a little bit. They seem to turn on even more in the evening, so increase our odds, and should be fun. Man, I've debated on even bringing this up, but I've passed 4 or 5 campsites at this point that look just like that or worse. Poop, toilet paper, beer cans. Man, for the life of me, I can't understand why people want to come out to somewhere as beautiful as this and just trash it for next time. Because obviously if you came out here once, you probably want to come back because it's so cool. Why would you want to come back to that? I think it's a very simple principle. You make a mess, you clean it up. Man, it's just really disappointing. Anyway, I'm gonna stop being a Ranger Rick, get back to it. And yeah, if you guys are using BLM or Forest Service roads, please, please, please just clean up your trash. Thank you. All right, back of the truck. That was a great little scouting hike. I have to say, I'm feeling pretty dang good about our odds for fishing tonight. Hopefully that confidence doesn't bite me in the butt later though. Anyway, I think it's about time to shoot some recurve bow. Like I said, I'm learning. Don't judge me too hard. This is a 45-pound takedown recurve bow from Samick Sage. If you want to get into archery too, you're going to need a few things. To put your string on, you'll need a bowstringer. A bow square is helpful too for keeping a consistent brace height. A target, mine is just a cardboard box filled with other cardboard boxes, temporary. And an arrow, of course. Mine are Fleetwood 500s. A judo tip is super helpful in case you miss the target. I picked up an arm guard after turning my forearm blue a few times. And finally, a leather tab. I was really keyed in on that left side. Took a few shots, but I finally got there. Alright, I could shoot that thing all day long, but the sun's starting to go down, it's cooling off, and I feel like it's a good time to go fishing. So, first things first, let's set up the rod. We'll start by assembling all the pieces of the rod, and then we'll put on our reel, and we'll screw that down tightly. Next, we'll pull out some fly line, and we're going to bend the fly line to put it through the eyelets, and the reason we bend it is so that if we lose our grip on it, it doesn't fall all the way back through. Go ahead and pull out the slack and reel in any excess. Next, we're going to tie on our fly. Of course, today we're using the X-Caddis. And then I also have my tippet, nippers, and forceps. Can't forget the float neither. The rod I use is a Redington Classic Trout 4-weight. Alright, I'm back down at the lake and you can probably hear it, but things have changed. The wind has picked up a lot and I'm not seeing any fish hit the top. I'm not seeing any bugs, but I haven't lost hope yet. We're going to wait it out. As the sun starts to go down, hopefully the wind dies off too. It's only about 5:30, 6 o'clock, so we have plenty of daylight left. All right, it's safe to say conditions are not improving. So we're gonna cruise down to the far end of the lake. It's gonna be a bit of a hike, but hopefully it gets us out of this wind. All right, I'm starting to think that waiting might have been a bad choice. This wind is kicking my butt. I was on the other side of the lake and I just didn't get any action at all. Didn't see anything hitting the top, didn't see any bugs, but we're gonna carry on. is some humble pie. Whew. Walked all the way to the far end of the lake to get out of the wind, and that worked, but I didn't have any action to speak of down there. Didn't see any fish rising, no bugs. So I came back up here to the original spot, and while the wind had died down and it was glass clear, the fish were rising, but they were rising in the middle of the lake. And maybe a better man than me could have bombed a cast out there, but there was no way I was gonna make it out that far. So we got skunked. That's rough. I was looking forward to a fish dinner. Would have made for a better video too. But this is the reality of it. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. And you know, at the end of the day, I'm still sitting out here on a lake shore at sunset, watching the geese and soaking it all in. Couldn't be happier. I guess I'll go back to the truck and eat a protein bar. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. And as always, if you liked it, like it. And if you really liked it, come along for the ride. A lot more videos headed your way. I'll see you next time.